We're all a part of God's body. It is His will. Ooh. Not some of your needs, every last one of them.
When you put your heart into something, that's when your conscience is clear. If you have to do something, it's going to weigh on you, right? If you're in a situation and you know you should respond, your heart is telling you to respond, and you don't, that's going to weigh heavy on you. Or if you did respond, but you didn't do the best, you didn't give it your all. You just kind of went through the motions. That's when your conscience is heavy, and thus your heart is heavy. So your heart and your conscience work together. You understand? So whatever is on your conscience is also on your heart. Conscience is clear, the heart will not be heavy. Shackles of fear and guilt will not hold us back. Instead, we will be able to spread our wings of compassion, open our hearts, and send out unconditional love. Love is like the air we breathe. We cannot expect only to exhale. What does that mean?
You have to give. You can't just take.
You gotta give. You gotta give. You gotta give. Unconditionally, not because somebody gave it to you, just because you got it to give. One day you might need somebody to give it to you, but you got to give too. So remember that love is just like breathing. You got to give and receive. For human life to progress to the next stage, the heart chakra must be unblocked and the energy of love allowed to flow in and out unimpeded. The chakra above it, the throat chakra, is the energy focus of expression and communication. If the heart chakra is blocked, every creative expression is stunned. In other words, you are not expressing your creative potential if your heart is not in it. Intellectual ideas and mental creations which gain their power from the solar plexus will likewise fail to find true expression. So even the most gifted and creative and talented people cannot express that without that heart chakra energy being in free flow. That's why you know some artists that just they fall out the game, fall off the wagon. They were doing great, and then all of a sudden they shut down, and that's the end of it. The heart is what shut down, cut off the creative flow. Perhaps most important of all is the expression of love. The heart's impulse must rise towards the crown, where it becomes an outpouring of love to all people. On the way, it demonstrates its healing power in all forms of loving expression through the throat chakra. So if your heart chakra is open, it's going to be expressed through your throat chakra. That's what it's saying. People are going to feel it. People are going to receive it. It's going to be communicated. Healers know through working with patients that the energies of the heart chakra are exerting an unrelenting force on all humanity. This manifests in our questioning of love, sex, and affairs of the heart, the function of marriage and family, whether to extend a hand to help or friendship, realizing our inability to love ourselves. All of those are issues of the heart. Where our bodies are concerned, the pressure manifests as heart problems. In other words, when we have trouble in any of those areas, it manifests as heart problems on the physical level. Coronary breakdown and other diseases of the chest. The heart chakra also draws attention to the misery and disease brought about by the denial of love, the lack of love, the substitutes for love, the giving of hatred, the abundance of anger and despair, and the abusive approach to all that. The heart chakra stands midway between the physical and the spiritual. It is the chakra where both forms of energy are processed. So everything is processed through your heart. Your physical energy coming from the root chakra up, and your spiritual energy coming through the crown down. This spiritual energy moves downward, and if the heart is blocked, that energy is stuck. This will deny also the lower three chakras the vital energies they need for preparing the human body for personal transformation. Symbolically, the heart chakra represents this crucial point of balance and transformation. We talked about that the heart is really the balance center that allows us transformation. The human being is subject to two main pressures, and these are the two biggest things that cause blocks in our heart. Number one is the ego, and the second one is our disconnect from a spiritual link. When we are disconnected from the grand source, our heart is going to be blocked. Opening your heart and allowing your love to show transforms you and others. Working to balance the heart chakra means working for the good of others. It means asking God to blow the winds of change into the lives of those who live in ignorance. Think not of yourself or a personal gain, but let your love flow through the air as a gift to the universe and all who dwell in it. So what we're talking about is when you're doing meditation and you're working with your heart chakra, you want to focus on two things. You want to focus on letting go, being in surrender, being in submission, and you want to focus on the air, your breath, because that's what radiates, that's what sends out the energy that you're trying to get out. Okay, so you're going to write down the names of people who you want to forgive, what they did to hurt you, and then you're going to ask yourself those questions for reflection. What is the hurt doing to you? How is it draining your energy? How is this destructive force, this anger, this rage, this pain affecting you? Where did it come from? How was it created? In other words, everything has a link in our past. You know, go back to your childhood. Think about some of the issues that surrounded your childhood that have stayed with you all these years.
I want to share something.
Go ahead.
When I was younger, there was a person in my life that started off what I thought was a really bad chain of events for the rest of my life. And so when I got in, I'm skipping a whole lot. When I got into the shrine, General Messiah said, you know, instead of saying, what did he say? Start saying hi to people. I used to walk around angry and grooming people so, you know, it wouldn't bother me. And so that started a different path. So I got to the point, okay, maybe I can hug my mother, you know, maybe I can say I love you to somebody, this. And then I started, maybe I can forgive somebody. So I started forgiving people, and I'm like, wow, I got this covered, you know, I can forgive people now, and I was happy and everything. And then God said, okay, ultimate test. And what that person that started all that hurt and pain in my life back to my mother's house. And I realized right then that everything was still there because I was enraged, and it caused my daughter to be enraged, and it caused me to go off on my mother to the utmost and to have real physical issues. And I couldn't forgive this person until he died almost, but I think I've forgiven him, but somehow I think I transferred to my younger brother, was his son. And so now but it felt good. It was like onions peeling. I was angry, really angry. But I think I'm covering it, but it feels good to let go of that forgiveness and learn how to forgive people. But it was really eye-opening that I thought I was good. And so then God gave me that ultimate test there. And it was like, wow, where did this come from? I thought I was covered. I thought I was good. You know, and it's just real interesting how.
Well, that's why you have to do this, the more detailed you are with chakra work, the more you get to the root of the problem. That's why we have reflective questions so we get deeper. And part of that equation too, and we're still talking about the same thing. It's not about forgiving others. You got to start with yourself. First, you have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself. So when you're working on your personal stuff, even though you're talking about the hurts that other people brought to you, you got to first forgive yourself for allowing those influences or those responses or those reactions or those, you know, you decide.
Not some of your needs, every last one of them. And they're going to be. Oh, you're important to the Lord.